The Jazz were in a giving holiday mood. Wide open threes for everyone. Not quite that much, but the Memphis Grizzlies took advantage. The Jazz fall short. Some big nights for some guys, a career high, and we're talking about it all on POSTCAST. David Locke, along with Ron Boone, as the Utah Jazz fall to the Memphis Grizzlies 137-128, and Memphis scores a season-high points in a game tonight. The game was tied at 81. Then Memphis went on a little surge to win the fourth quarter, and then they win it 137-128. Grizzlies scored 37 in the first, 32 in the second, and 40 in the third. This is for a team that came into the game with the 25th ranked offense in the NBA. Their usual offensive rankings about a 109. They had a 127. Now, in fairness to the Jazz, before we really digest what went wrong defensively, the Jazz were without Jusuf, Nurkic, and they were without Walker Kessler. And when that has been the case this year, we opened the broadcast talking about it, that the Jazz defense in those circumstances this year, when they have both those guys off the floor, has been about a 125, which is kind of close to where they were tonight, the 127. So this shouldn't have been totally unexpected, and this really taxes the Jazz system. The Jazz entire defensive system, really, Ron, is to try to take away the rim, and then when you don't have a natural rim defender, it takes so much pressure to take away the rim, you're giving up a tremendous amount of open threes.
No size, and that was the big difference. And obviously the size of the Grizzlies took advantage of that, because they were switching bigs, causing switches anyway with the big and the small, and Jaren Jackson and then Londale was, getting points in the paint. But without that size, and don't forget Nurkic didn't play there as well, and he takes up a lot of space down there, but it still was an uphill battle, I thought, in the first quarter.
So there's two ways the math works in the NBA these days, and one of them has kind of become passe, I guess, and the other is the really relevant one. So the first math was 3-point shots. That if you can shoot a bunch more threes than your opponent, you generally win. That's pretty hard to do because everyone's now shooting 40-plus threes a night. So the Jazz shot 45 threes tonight, and Memphis shot 45 threes tonight. So the second way in which you win games now is you win the possession battle. And the possession battle is done in one of two fashions. You either turn the ball over or you don't, and you get offensive rebounds. What's interesting tonight is that the possession battle was absolutely close to dead even. The Jazz ended up with 9. I believe the Jazz had 12 offensive rebounds, and they had 13 turnovers. So, Memphis had 15 turnovers. The Jazz had 13. The Jazz actually won the possession battle tonight. The Jazz, I believe, by a little bit. I'm doing the math a little bit off my head, but I think they had 20. They had 27 extra possessions to the Grizzlies getting 21. So the Jazz were +6. So this really just comes down to that tonight the Grizzlies made shots the Jazz didn't, which, at least in my opinion, is that the Grizzlies got better looks and the Jazz did not defend as well as the Grizzlies did tonight.
Well, and then, the three-point shooting really made a difference, and I thought that was early in the ball game where the Grizzlies got off to a very good start. The Jazz and Keyonte didn't even score for a long time there in that quarter. Even though the Jazz closed it within 6 after one, it would still boil down to, the size and the fact that one player, Aldama, gets hot and start to separate themselves.
Santi had 37, tying his career high tonight, 7 of 13 from 3. So obviously he had a big night. Jazz did a decent job on Jaren Jackson, who had 21 tonight. The Jazz got some big outings. Kyle Filipowski had 21 points, 13 rebounds, 4 assists. Keyonte George had 24 points tonight, 21 for Taylor Hendricks. Let's zero in on T. Hendy for a second. He had 21, tied his career high tonight. Definitely had a season high, 33 steals as well, 7 of 10, some nice drives, outstretched right-hand finishes from him. What did you see on the offensive side?
I saw that he was playing with a lot of confidence. I was impressed with him driving to the basket and trying to score. He's getting there, David, and I'm just short of saying that he's can turn into, I don't know, that rotation player. I think that they're really looking for right now, not that he can't get there. And I say that because I think his defense really suffers. I mean, it's like he doesn't get the rotation sometimes, or some guys can just go out there and play basketball and instinctively know exactly what to do. And I think he struggles with that.
Yeah, I mean, still that year off seems to he's really in his second year in the NBA, right? He only played 40 years. He only played 40 games his first year. He played 3 games last year. I mean, this is still a player that's in his first 82 games of his NBA career still. I mean, that's a crazy number to think about, but he really didn't play very much his rookie year, even before the injury.
So let me ask you this, because, when he went down and played in the G League, he did come back a different person.
Yep. Yeah. They all seem to every time.
Right.
It's such a great, even Cody looks different. I mean, Cody didn't play a lot tonight. Cody played 8 minutes tonight, but I thought, and Cody's real problem right now is he can't make that corner three, of the shot he gets all the time is just not a shot that he makes with any regularity. In fact, looking at, I think his career now on corner threes for Cody Williams is 21 of 92. So that is just not a good shot for him, and he gets it in our offense all the time. But we're seeing other things from him. His drives to the basket seems more aggressive. His ability to handle seems more. So every time somebody goes to G League, they seem to come back with a little bit more renewed juice.
These young guys, minutes makes a big difference out there on the floor, and that's what they're lacking, and that's what we're getting out there on the floor. You can see the difference in experience for the most part.
Worth noting tonight, Taylor Hendricks 2 threes, both came on above the break threes. He was 3 of 15 coming into the game on above the break threes. So that's a nice, if he can play above the break and shoot as well as just being a corner three shooter, because coming into tonight, Taylor on corner threes was really very good, and just 3 of 15 on above the break three. So that would be a nice change for him.
That left corner is his corner. I mean, 8 for 13 coming into tonight's game. That left that corner from the 3-point line. But you're absolutely right about above the break threes. It's not like if he gets enough chances, maybe he can knock them down. But the way the defense is set up for him, if he doesn't get it in transition or off of a pin down or something like that, then that's not his shooting window.
By the way, to your point on the defense, I have no idea. I just noticed this as we were looking at it and haven't thought about it at all. I don't really love in-game plus-minus, but Taylor's -9 is the worst plus-minus on anyone on the Jazz. Now, he was probably playing in the bench unit, and they were playing without a center in that group, and he was playing center. So there's probably a lot of other reasons to it, so I'm not sure that's a great number, but it actually I just noticed it a little bit.
Get to the point you're playing out of position there.
Yeah, I mean, Jazz really shorthanded. Kevin Love and Taylor Hendricks are kind of your centers tonight. Kyle Filipowski, 25 points, 13 rebounds, 4 assists tonight, 9 of 15 from the field. I thought he did a lot of nice things around the basket. He's not been a super finisher yet in his career, but I think we're seeing him play more straight lines, finishing around the basket, doing some nice things there. And then I think he hit 2 or 3 threes tonight.
Yeah, he hit. As a matter of fact, he did. He was 2 for 3, as a matter of fact. But minutes, he played 35 minutes tonight. Got a chance to stay out there on the floor. And at one, I won't say. There was times out there on the floor where he was the number 1 player on the floor as far as the Jazz are concerned, the go-to guy for the most part. And I don't know, David. He has his moments.
So here's the question I'm really left with tonight. I was bothered by the amount of butt-naked zip code threes that we gave up tonight, and it might just be the reality that when you're playing without Jusuf, Nurkic, and Walker Kessler, and you're trying to protect the rim. But we do lead, and Will Hardy said this the other night in the press conference, we've got to get better at contesting. We lead the NBA in allowing open threes. I won't know till tomorrow morning, but I would suspect that we gave up 34 of those 45 threes.
Whoa.
That's probably maybe a little high. No defender was probably within 5 or 6 feet. The Jazz lead the NBA right now in amount of open threes. And when I say open three, what I'm saying is the opponent is the closest defender is not within 6 feet.
I thought you told me 4
no,
or something like that.
6 feet.
Yeah.
So the Jazz right now, New Orleans is second, but the Jazz allow the most threes. And there's a reason. I mean, it's part of, I don't think they want to be allowing that, but they are trying to take away the rim. And so that's the reason. The Jazz allow 24, so 34 would be too many. 24.6 open threes a night. I would guess they allowed 30 tonight. 30 of the 45 were butt naked open.
Yeah, that's a lot. And the defense is geared to rotate. And what I see sometimes is the rotation is not early enough. I don't know if you want to call it cheating, but when the ball's in a certain spot, you got to start cheating that way.
Like Orlando and Jamal Mosley, who was here the other night, we asked him about it. They only allow 15. That's the low. The league average is about 19, and we allow 24.6. Our opponents shoot 40% on open threes.
That's a lot.
The league average on an open three in the NBA is 39% now. That's incredible.
Players are getting good,
but
it's shooting threes.
Right.
I'm talking about. So in the past, okay, you pick and choose who you want to give up an open three.
Right.
Right.
I mean, the thing about that is an open three is 1.17 points now.
But how many times have you had stats on a guy where he can't shoot and all of a sudden he's
because if he's got nobody within 6 feet of him, like
butt naked, and he's not getting threes, right?
So I think that's to me a little bit of the storyline of the night. I'll look up if you want to follow me on Twitter. I'll post it tomorrow. What the number is when it comes out. To me, that's the storyline of the night, and I think that's a little bit of the storyline of where Will Hardy's got to figure out something defensively with his team for the remainder of the year. Is how are we contesting better?
Mm-hmm.
He even said it the other night. This is not groundbreaking. All right.
We lose the game.
Fourth in a row.
Fourth in a row.
All right.
137, 128.
Your notes go to.
And
Jazz notes tonight.
Jazz notes, yeah. Obviously, Filipowski, I thought, had a great night. 17 points there for Bailey. Didn't seem to make a lot of mistakes. Didn't have any stupid fouls, that's for sure. And then Keyonte, who came on strong. Off the bench, I got Taylor for sure. Collier, 9 assists. Did he make an impact? I thought maybe so in the third quarter. He probably did. But so I'm going to go with those 5. What do you think?
I think it's fair. Isaiah had 5 turnovers tonight. So that was the only thing I thought you might dock him on. But he did change the game for a brief period of time. We made a run and got it tied. So I understand you. Yeah. I feel you. That's
I have
fine.
Question marks here as well, but
yeah. All right, that is it tonight. Jazz falls to the Memphis
Since we didn't give out any, 2 games in a row?
We didn't give any for Denver. They got
any for Denver. What about the one you and
Oh, you might not have done one. I didn't do a postcast because we really didn't watch the game.
Right. So that's 2 ball games in a row.
Yeah. So, all right. That wraps us up. Have a great night. Thank you very much. Happy holidays. Have a Merry Christmas. We'll be back with you on the 26th.